and now you're 20 points off the low. So I think that this end of the quarter window dressing has a lot of people concerned that we're going to have a big surge into the close. So we'll see what happens with that. Crude gives back most of those gains, up only 31 cents after being up a buck 50 earlier. Gold, bad day in gold, loses $49.10, kind of broke out of the bottom of that range. Silver going the opposite direction, up 4.8 cents at 14.18, and Bitcoin up $75 at 6,455.
All right, so Joel, we made it to the end of the quarter. The question is now sort of what you said this morning is what is in store. Not so much for Q2. Q2 is going to be lost, but Q3, Goldman Sachs out this morning or maybe yesterday saying that they see a rebound in Q3. The market seems to be pricing in a rebound in the next couple quarters here, does it not?
Ah, man. Well, read what Goldman said. They know more than me.
Let me find the exact numbers that Goldman gave here this
And for
morning.
Dennis, Goldman Sachs, as Dennis would say.
Goldman sees a 9%. What's the number here? A 9% drop in GDP for the upcoming number, and they see a 19% rise in GDP for Q3. So just from an economic standpoint, they're expecting a bounce back here. Consumer confidence this morning was surprising, Joel. Consumer confidence came in above expectations.
Yeah, it did.
It fell from 132 in February to 120 in March, but that was above the 110 estimate from economists. So consumer confidence bad, and yet better than expectations heading into the quarter at the end of the quarter here. So that's a good sign. I don't know. We've just been waiting for the other shoe to drop on our show for the past week or so. It hasn't happened, but
Correct. It hasn't, and I mean, I think the market is behaved spectacular.
yeah.
Monday's rally. Today, I mean, I know Dow's down 324, S&P's 33 handles. I mean, I'm looking at this as a good day. I think that the market is being very resilient up near these highs, and it just, it kind of feels like it's going to poke through, break on through to the other side, but you got to respect resistance is resistance. And until it breaks through there, you got to treat it as such. So, I just am not, I mean, I don't want to, poo poo on what Goldman's saying here, but I just, from a personal standpoint, I just see a lot of disruption, in businesses and, in my wife's business and my buddy's gym's practice and a lot of things. So, I love to see us back on track. I just, we got to get out of our houses first, and we have to do things. So,
Yep.
that's that's what I see. But hey, I hope I'm wrong.
All right, let's look at some of the stocks we talked about this morning. I want to start off with RH, Restoration Hardware. We talked about the earnings on the show, and it got a pop at the open there at about 10:15, and then flushed it.
Yes, it is. I'm looking at RH here. I talked about it this morning. I mean, it had its rebound, right? From that low. Not did catch up quite as the market. If you look at the monthly chart, just retailers are going to be hit. I think if there's any sector that you have to be worried about, it's the retail sector. People, let alone leaving their house, uh, going anywhere, let alone going shopping. Restoration Hardware being a higher end retailer. I mean, if you get that Goldman V recovery, yeah. But I think people spending habits are changed. It's a higher end retailer. I didn't like this stock before. I've never been very good calling it. So I will just say, hey, you had that move from 73 to 122. I think I did the math before. 27 and 22, a 25-point move. I mean, if you really feel like you have to own this thing, let it come into 88 bucks, 89 bucks, and then lean on the low of the move. But that's what I see in Restoration Hardware.
What about Amarin here? AMRN. This was the disaster stock of the day. And no real follow-through action. The entire move was basically priced in before the
Yes.
open.
Yeah, you do see that. I mean, if you're fortunate enough to, come in short this thing, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to hold out for a zero on it, or you're going to deploy your bullets somewhere else. So, that, just happened. It didn't get a pop. That's a really bad thing that it didn't get much of a pop yet today. Very small range. We talked about that $4 level. So just, patience buyers in there, 395 the low. Did get a little pop to 36. But considering the 1358 close, the 1293 low, that ain't nothing.
And if Dennis were here, he would say that's because Amarin is an ADR and it is already traded overseas, and so the price is priced in as soon as the news hits because it trades overseas. The ADR is the secondary security for that company. So that could explain. It probably does explain, quite frankly, why there really was no action after the open, because the news gets priced in pretty quickly on the primary exchange, and then
Yes.
the ADR is the follow through security there. So 358, about 12 minutes left. I want to get some questions from the chat if they have any.
Sure.
Joel, and I also want to know what other stocks were on your radar right now. And we talked a little bit before we hopped on here, but what else is on your radar here?
We talked about OMI, continued higher off the open, but the opening print 948, 969 high. So not a great day. Still up 79 cents, but not overall, not a fantastic day for OMI. We also on the show, we talked about Abbott in the red, got another pop today, kind of on the same news, circulation news. That's back near the lows of the session. So that's beginning to fade. I think Dennis talked about that. Market's beginning to fade here too, folks. We got 11 minutes left, and we are heading back towards the lows of the session. Peloton, I have a crystal ball here under my desk, and I think Dennis is going to say that he got out of his Peloton swing trade today at some time because it did get the move. I know he wasn't married to that position, so that's what I'm looking for here in Peloton, or for Dennis to say tomorrow. That's a little bit of a prediction. Um, Oil stocks, you thought they were holding on well. I didn't think they held on so well. ExxonMobil's $2 off its high of the session, trying to remain green. So that's pretty much was the stocks I was looking at. Also, we had talked about Teva, TAVA, Teva Pharmaceuticals. That's having a nice day. That's holding on to some of its gains. We did get over $9. 943. So that's beginning to fade as well. Want to do some stocks here from the chat.
Really good trivia here from Spinner. What is the only Dow stock up this month? Is that what he asked? Pretty sure that's what he
I'm
asked.
not in there.
What is the only what is the only uh no this quarter? What is the only Dow stock up this quarter? Hmm.
Is Abbott Labs a Dow stock?
No, I don't think so. Is it? I don't think so.
Um.
No, Abbott's not on the Dow. What is
Okay.
the only Dow stock up this quarter? No, this is good. Nice bit of trivia. I like this. Joel, do you know?
Uh. With no, I don't.
Microsoft
Yeah.
up 1.6%. What a quarter for the Dow, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Mr. Softy trading down $1.93 today. Wow. We are really ripping around, folks. Be careful out there. If you're trading this slop here, I don't know if we just got a big wave of imbalances. What hit there? We're just near the low of the session, back up near 20, 25.75. So wild trading here.
Someone asked about Booking and why. I think it was Booking. Yeah, why it's up today. There are a number of names that are up in line with Booking. I saw Royal Caribbean was also up, and I I've been wondering this each day these stocks go up. I wonder why. But Booking is up 2.5%. Royal Caribbean is up 7% today, although it's faded off the highs from. Seems like every stock is making highs at 10 o'clock and then just fading. That's just what it
Uh,
feels like to me.
let's look at Booking. I mean, they got to be hurting, right? BK, what's it now? BKNG.
Yeah.
I see here. I mean, it just hasn't bounced like the rest of the market, right? I mean, they're hurting. So I don't know. This one, I mean, you did have the rally off the low, but you look at it in the relation to where it was at in February. It peaked in 2018, in fact, at around 2,200. So maybe these are showing a little strength today just because they haven't rebounded as much as the others. You could figure your 50% here. Booking is going to be a little bit harder. You made your low at 1107. So it's called 1100. You got the 1340. So that's 240 point move. Half of that is 120. So if this comes back in at 1230, 1240 area, maybe a lower risk buy here if you're willing to risk down to the low of the move at 1107.21. But almost a 2-for-1 stock split here in the month of March for booking. And understood. That's just not a big surprise. You do have a buying balance here of 2.2 billion to buy. I'm not sure how quickly that's going to get paired off, that information being disseminated out. So that's why you probably got that quick bounce off the low. CyberArk, we were asked about CYBR, CyberArk, cybersecurity software. Nice bounce off its low. Nowhere near back its February levels. Once again, you're peeling back in CyberArk. Made a low at what, 69.51 or even lower than that, 69.51, 79.89, 22-point rally at 11 to that. Maybe this is holding there pretty well, but if it comes into $80, that would be my area of interest. If in fact I was willing to risk down to the low of the move there, um, down to 69.51.
So Joel, what do you make of this, I guess call it sideways action for the past few days here?
Ah, well, yesterday was up. It's not sideways. It was up. It was an up day yesterday,
Yeah,
and
but on the daily, it looks awfully sideways-ish.
yeah, I mean, the market is trying to get to the next level, and it's hit a level of resistance. So, it's hit that level of resistance, it's come back down, but it's not whooshing. It's not whooshing at all. And this today is really going to slice into my average daily range. Remember, I've been talking about that. I came in with a 9-day average true range of 176.75. If we were to close right now, we haven't even had a 100-point range. So that is that, so you got your sellers up there, people taking profits or lightening up long term. But then you definitely got buyers in here that are saying, I missed the bottom. We're not going back down to test the lows. The bad news is over. So you're not getting these 40, 50, 60 point, downdrafts in the market, because it's what I call is backing and filling. And that's what's going on in the market right now. And then you got all those buyers out there, end of the quarter, window dressing, rebalancing, whatever you want to call it. Those buyers are out there. It supported the market yesterday, not as much as today, but that's what you're seeing, a back and forth market. Back to now, I guess the MOC's flipped to sell. So if you're playing that game, man, be careful out there. Be very, very, very careful.
Doesn't feel like as volatile as it could have been
Oh,
at the end, as what we've seen it. Especially what we've seen in this feels like a normal end of quarter close to me.
yeah, 635.75 minus 558.5, 77-point range. I mean, you are slicing and dicing through that. So that's where we stand. That's my take on things. I'd really like to see us bust out over 2650, and we're not going to do it today. Hopefully we hold in here overnight and take another shot at it tomorrow. I think that would clear the way to clearly 2800, and that's just about the 50% retracement area. And some of these stocks have already let me look at like Microsoft. Has that had a 50% retracement yet? That's been a little bit stronger. But I know talk about the same. Nope, that hasn't even had it yet. So market's got back about a third of its losses, and it's trying like hell to get back half of those losses. And I thought the news flow was pretty bad today. We had some things coming out of New York, and market seems to be holding in there. So You just gotta play what's in front of you.
News flow was definitely not good today, but it
No.
it it feels like I don't know. I feel like I'm just repeating myself here, but it just feels like more of the same. Like it hasn't gotten exponentially worse. News flow was definitely not good. It's not getting better, but I don't know how much worse it's getting either. So
Okay.
I don't know. Just about 2 minutes and change left in the quarter. Or, yeah, now. So we're sitting at 257 on the SPY. I don't know where on the S&Ps.
Seventy-two
But
fifty, 73. We'll call it. We'll call the end of the close here. The last 3 minutes is going to be wild action here. I think we're either gonna spike down and take out the low or get a pop into the 2580 handle. So hands are off the keyboards for me in these last few minutes of action. I'll try and keep an eye on something for you. We are going to close lower on the session, but I did, the encouraging thing is it's only a 77-point range. So that is definitely going to bring down it's going to slice and dice that 9-day average trading range, which is good. Which is good here. We're currently at 2570. Do you want to try and sneak one more stock in, one more quick look?
sure. Let's do. Hmm. Oh my God, pressure. Someone's asking about this is one I don't recognize. ITRM. I don't recognize that name.
ITRM.
$2. Oh boy. Okay.
Uh,
Very thinly traded. Never mind. I regret bringing
yeah.
this up.
The most you can lose is $2.71.
I regret bringing that one up. Okay.
Needs to break
Sorry.
over $3, and their therapeutics. They need to come up with some therapy. That's my take on that stock.
Great analysis there. All right, inside 40 seconds here. Let me get up a chart of the S&P futures on the
S&Ps,
screen,
yeah,
and we can
yeah.
kind of go through it here together.
Got
And
some
just for the sake,
pressure. It looks like they're pressuring it into the close here.
let me pull
The
up a 1 minute.
yep, the selling balances are weighing on the market here. We are at 58.50 is the low of the session. Currently trading 28.65. I'll just call it 65 here. Let's see. There's some more 68. It's trying to close over 70, over 70, 74, 75. 73, 72, 70. This is chopped back down to 65.
Oh,
Back
chop
up to
fast,
70. Yeah.
ugly chop. That entire last that entire last half hour was just an ugly chop
Yeah,
fest.
yeah, yeah. Very, very, very difficult. But okay, well, let's wrap it up. Who's tomorrow's guest?
We made it through the quarter. I feel like we all deserve to pat ourselves on the back for this
I
one.
predict, I predict we won't have a quarter this bad for a long time.
God, I hope you're right. Tomorrow's guest is Joe Saluzzi from Themis Trading. He'll give us a bit of a market structural point of view on as far as we talked about the market behaving well in light of the sell-offs, and Joe will give us his thoughts on that exact idea, how the market has behaved in the midst of extreme volatility. Please remember, all the information on this broadcast is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. You can always catch replays of this on YouTube, catch the podcast of our morning show on whatever podcast platform you prefer. And that's it. So we'll be back with you folks tomorrow, 8 a.m., bright and early. First day of Q2. We're excited. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Be safe out there.